is up and I run into problems. The second floor hallway is a carbon copy of the third floor one. Wide, of course, and plain, like only hallways can be. The problem is that the library's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think. The classrooms are marked with signs stating which class they belong to, but then there is a plethora of other unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them, or is it just somewhere down the hallway? I bet on the latter and choose my direction at random. After I turn around the corner, an unmarked door draws my attention, because it's not closed. It's not open either, though, just barely ajar so that I can see it's open and nothing else. It would make sense for the library door to be invitingly open, and while this one is not quite that, it's good enough. At the very least, it means someone is inside, and I can ask for directions, no matter how embarrassing that is. I gingerly push on the center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at a moment's notice. The feeling of being an outsider to the school can't be shaken from my mind so much so that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. The door slowly creaks as if groaning from a deep sleep that was much easier to open than I anticipated. Leaning over and poking my head even further inside to gain sight of the room as fast as possible, the meek hello on my lips is quickly snatched away. Jeez, hello. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. This is not what I was expecting. I was actually expecting to see the violet person. I mindlessly let the door open to its full extent, taking in the sight of the solitary figure taking center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing in the doorway staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently, having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes, but doesn't look at me. Oh, is she blind? I bet that's what... Yeah, I'm gonna say she's blind. Hello there, may I help you? Staring directly in front of herself, the movement of her lips seemed to break the silence rather than the words. However, is a soft measured voice that reminds me she's being separate from the room itself. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but even among the foreigners I've met, she's strikingly distinct. Hi, sorry for intruding. I was just kind of lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand. Care to take a seat? She's very trusting. Unexpected, considering that I'm intruding upon her. Thanks. I slowly step towards her, towards another seat opposite her, the girl resting the teacup and saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track any movements with her head is telling that, and a slight cloudiness to her eyes means that she must be at least partially blind, like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. Oh yeah, that makes sense. She's blonde. And blue eyes. Yeah, she has to be at least half something. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. Okay, that was kind of weird. The calming atmosphere is so different from the student council office. I take it you're a new student to Yamaku? Yeah, I just transferred in yesterday. I get the distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers, accentuated by her restrained bow of greeting. One which I hasten to match before realizing the futility of the action. I'm Lily Satou, pleased to meet you. Hisao. Hisao. Oh, I'm butchering this. Hisao Nakai. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup. Would you care for a drink? Sure. Why wouldn't I just make my own? As much as it pains me, I can't keep step with her formality in the proceedings. She gives a kind nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies she's laid out along a shelf. A brush here, a brush there, her left hand often lightly touching the side of whichever container she's pouring into. It seems to be a process she's followed dozens of times before. As I lean sideways to see around her back, she seems to use her long dainty finger to measure the right amount of water in the cup. She's sticking her finger on my tea, are you kidding me? It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Shizune and Misha have no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lily herself seems to have workarounds for problems I never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be showing the correct process of the offerer preparing the drink. So, her soft voice brings me out of my silent observance. She is pretty tall. Which room were you looking for? It's not that often this classroom is visited after school. The school library. Shizune and some classmates, told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring the water into the teacup as she nods, a small metallic tapping coming from the teacup indicating it being stirred. I'm aware of Miss Hakamichi, as are most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3, no? That's right, in the science room with Matao. She gives a small giggle before setting down the teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table, teacup and saucer in hand. He's quite a character. I imagine you'll come to like him. Most do. I don't think he's a character. He doesn't do anything. He's just like, do your own projects. Go. I'll sit here and look as drunk as I always look. Not drunk, hungover. As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person, but this seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. Yeah, don't ever say that. Doesn't matter if she's blind or not, you don't say that to anyone. Nonetheless, the smell's quite nice. I'd hardly think it's be hard to choke down. It's just tea, come on, you don't even have it in front of you, so... Yeah, thanks Satou, it tastes really nice. She smiles, and quickly waves her hand in front of her face. Lily, please, there's no need to be too formal. She says this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh well. I guess I should try and ask her about herself, as it really does seem as if she's catering to me. So which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes? Correct, I'm in 3-2, which is on the third floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi, and is specifically for both blind and partially blind students. I see. Are you kidding me? Why would you... Wow, I see. And then you didn't even end your quotation marks. Sorry. There you go. So apologize. I feel like slapping myself for the faux pas. Is that right? Faux pas? Looking at her face though, she doesn't seem the least bit put off by it. My, there's no need to change your speech on my account. Oh sure, sorry, I guess I'm really showing my newness here. An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. Well, the same can't be said for everyone. Many have come to terms with their conditions. A category, which would include her it seems. All too ready to jump ship from this particular topic, I segue into another. Do you come here to drink tea often? As I drink water, it's a really nice place. Thinking on it, this might be her version of the place behind my school that I like to have lunch at. I come here fairly often during lunch times. My duties as class representative don't leave enough time for an official club, so a friend and I use this room for having tea. Class representative, huh? Compared to Shizune, her mannerisms seem to be almost completely opposite. While Shizune's blunt and fiercely driven, Lily seems relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view of the school clubs. Oh yeah, here we go. What kind of clubs are there to join? The more popular ones are the track and field club, which uses the field near the school during lunchtimes, the baseball club, and the book club. There it is, book club, in a room near the library. There are also numerous small ones too, though, such as art and music clubs. At a time when I'm wanting to get on my feet, rushing into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if this school shares the same rule as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club? It isn't, though it's encouraged. Ah, good, that's a relief. I really let down my guard around this girl to let such a thing slip out. I look so depressed with myself. Jeez. She thinks it's funny though. The fact seems to slightly amuse her. Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it as Lily does the same. It's red. Oh, it's sun setting, and the music kicks in. As I look over to the window over her shoulder, I notice the light coming into the room has a distinctly orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. Huh? The time's going quickly. Sorry? Oh, why did you say that? She doesn't know? Right, she's blind. Of course she doesn't see she can't see the sun setting. It just looks like this. Why would... It seems to come as a surprise for her. I guess she must have lost track of the time. Sorry, Sao, I didn't mean to keep you for the library for so long. I quickly moved to allay her concern. Oh no, it's okay. The library's still open, isn't it? She pauses and takes a moment to think on it. It's probably something I should have asked Izumi when I had the chance, but Lily seems likely to know in any case. True, it's open until 6:30 on the weekdays. A quick glance at my watch confirms that I have well enough time to get there. I might get going in that case. It's been nice talking to you, Lily. With you, Lily. She smiles and gives a deep nod, her hands still neatly folded on the table in front of her. It was my pleasure. Oh, come to think of it, shall I show you where the library is? I couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it all right. Well, unless my net... Yeah, they failed you so many times. Take the help. Which they seem to have a habit of doing. It's alright. I was going to be talking to the librarian there in any case. I could introduce you. This gets better and better. It's pretty hard to deny her offer. If you're sure, then that'd be great. Thanks. She stands up to follow me. She takes hold of a straight, retractable cane that has been slipped in the handle of her bag on the floor. Compared to the other cane the boy in my class had, Lily's looked much thinner and longer. His must be for support, whereas Lily's is for navigation. Together we leave the peaceful room and enter the empty hallway on the way to the library. That creepy face again. At least Lily doesn't have to see this. Jeez. Side by side, my face carefully slowed to match the pace of hers. We walk slowly through the hallway. It doesn't take long for us to arrive at the door to the warm-looking room, apparently situated in the center of the floor rather than either wing. Ladies first. She gives an appreciative smile at the gesture, taking lead as we file in. To the left is the wooden library counter, with the library proper being on the right. Excuse me. It easily dwarfs my old school's library, with the distinct smell of old books giving the place an almost old world air. There doesn't seem to be a lot of students here. Considering the time, this isn't a big surprise. Everyone's probably either in the school grounds or the dorms. Yuko, are you here? She says it to thin air since the library doesn't seem to be present, and of course Lily can't see this. What's unexpected is that it draws a reaction. Oh, something from under the counter thuds against it, followed by a quiet wail. Aww. Oh, hello. The origin, apparently the librarian, quickly crawls out and bounces up to an extremely rigid attention. Is she like sweating? Jeez, calm down. Hi Lily, how can I help you? Her voice is strained in a failing attempt to sound casual, and she's rubbing the back of her head. Good afternoon. What happened just now? I heard a strange sound. It's nothing. I just hit my head. See, I dropped an eraser under my desk, and while I was looking for it, a pencil dropped, and while I was looking for both of them, you came and surprised me. Are you alright? I'm sorry. I couldn't know. It's okay. Sorry for making you worry. Yeah. Don't blame the blind girl. This is nothing. I've had worse happen to me. She feels like she's been abused or such in the past. She's way too nervous. She's quick to reverse Lily's apologies, almost frantically, trying to push aside the possibility that she could be in any way inconvenienced by bashing her head on the counter. Yes, worse things have happened, hee hee hee. The girl fidgets with her fingers as Lily doesn't seem to drop her concerned expression, and then she shuffles some papers around on the counter for no reason. A little shorter than Lily, replete with glasses, freckles, and a very troubled look, she seems to fit the library perfectly. Ah, Lily, did you get my message? Message?